and that static are being sacrificed. And that's, if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you got to feel your way through the dark, and I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
So now is, what are you going to do? You heard what I had to say. And most of all, let's keep it real, I'm only repeating what you've already said to yourself. That's why you're here. That's why you tune in every week. Yeah, I'm only repeating what you already said to yourself. I'm not saying anything new. I might be saying it in a different way. I might be saying it in a different tone. I might be saying it with some force differently. But for the most part, your spiritual self has been knocking you over the head, telling you, hey, what you doing? Hey, 3 o'clock in the morning, get up. Write that thing, that inspirational thought you had. Write it down. Or go act on it. And what do? You look at that clock, turn over, I'll get it later and go to sleep. Hakeem, how you know? How you know? You in my bedroom? You can see us? You spying on us? No. I ain't got to spy on you. I ain't got to know. I know how we are. I know what we really are, and we all operate the same way. We come from the same designer. We come from the same designer who designed us to be spiritual and powerful and divine. And the way we get our inspiration is when everybody's calmed down and all the negative energy is subsided. That's when, in the wee hours of the night, is when God can really speak to you and get and that static are being sacrificed. And that's, if your stuff's not available, they can't hear it. Sometimes you got to feel your way through the dark, and I struggled all the way up into the minute. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.
Yo, peace, prosperity, extreme wealth to everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Truth Tuesday show, a show I have been doing for 9 years, faithfully. You know what? When I look back over the years of me doing this show, I probably missed maybe out of 9 years, I might have missed 8, maybe 9 shows. I'm always telling you guys the way to be successful is to be consistent. Consistency trumps talent any day. Consistency trumps talent any day. Actually, consistency is what develops talent. You get talent from consistency. Like right behind me, right here is my guitar. I started playing that over close to 3 years ago. Right? I didn't know anything about guitar. I didn't have the first clue of what I was doing. I hired me a good teacher, and I've been using him for actually 3.5 years now. And now I'm pretty good at it. You know, I could pick up the music pretty good. I got my music stand right here. You can't see it, but those of you guys on here might be able to see it. Let me see. I got my Instagram up. There it is, right there. Not my Instagram. I would call it. I'm calling TikTok is up. My TikTok is up. I'm experimenting, trying to do TikTok, Telegram, and YouTube all at the same time. If you want to get on YouTube, just go to YouTube and type in Akeem L if you're on the other platforms, and you'll find it. Or Hindsight Radio. You'll find the live there. Consistency is what gets you the talent. Now, there are some people who have natural born talents, but they still have to develop them through consistency. Like I know people, I won't be specific, I don't want to call them out, that have talent in fixing cars. Natural born talent. But they don't fix cars. Why? No consistency. They were all gung-ho about it in the beginning, and did it as a hustle, but always defaulted back to the 9 to 5, seeking a 9 to 5. You know how many people I know? By the way, the title of the show is "You Only Have One Job." I'm going to get to that. You only have one job. But this segues into that, right? We have been programmed deliberately to be 9 to 5ers. We have been programmed through secular education or compulsory education to go to school and get a good job. That's all they talk about. Get your grades up. Take the ACT test. Take the APT. Whatever test. Take this test and make sure these grades so the colleges that you want to go to will accept you. See, it's all about acceptance, right? You got to do good for these people to accept you into their environment of education, so that once you get in there, you can get the good grades and then you can go work on somebody's job and build someone else's ideas or build someone else's dream. Make someone else rich. Make someone else's family and legacy wealthy. They never once tell you, get an education so that you can build an empire, build a corporation for yourself. You kind of stumble upon that by knowing other people that's in business for themselves. When it came to me, I had this burning desire after getting laid off several times, 3 times. One time I got laid off, I had a pregnant wife. What am I going to do? My son Akeem Jr., who's downstairs on the couch playing video games right now, he's almost 30 now, but he was on the way. I already had a son, but I got laid off. And, hey, we can't use you anymore. Times are tough. Good luck. I hope everything works out for you. Here's some severance pay. And you stuck like, what do I do? And all your mind is doing. Remember, this is segue into you only have one job. You only have one job. But see, the job that they wanted you to get is not the job that you were designed to have. That's not the job that God wanted you to have. But get laid off in my mind at that time, I was so indoctrinated into the system of 9 to 5 wage earner thinking that, like, how do I get a job? How do I get another job? What do I do? Because at that time I was working at the World Trade Center. There's not many jobs where I can go get that did that same thing. I was called a commodities clearing clerk. I was in charge of making sure the trades from that day or the previous day cleared correctly into different accounts. So I handle accounts nationally and internationally. I was like the police of Payne Weber when it came to the commodities exchange. And I dealt with crude oil, heating oil, natural gas, platinum, palladium, trades, gold, silver, those different commodities. So I had to make sure I was a clearing clerk. They called it a commodities clearing clerk, which was at that time was a pretty well-paying job for me. At the age of, I was like 20, 22, 23 at the time when I got laid off. Let me see. No. I was about 24-ish. So all I can think about, I got to get another job. I got to get another job. I didn't have I didn't have a college education. I mean, to truth be told, I was a high school dropout. I had a GED. I'll tell you about that story another time. How did a guy with a GED get to work at the World Trade Center? How did he do this? I'll tell y'all about that story on another live. Because you really only have one job. You really do have one job. But we're so misled into believing all these social ideologies that we forget that one job that we were given. We was given a job. We was given divine inspiration. We was given divine liberation. The day we was conceived in our mother's womb. Yeah. Actually, you were given and anointed your job before you was even conceived. Last week or Sunday, it wasn't last week, Sunday, the things, do y'all, the days be running together, it seems like now. Like, it seemed like what we call time, this concept of time is just getting all out of whack. Like some days it'd be Monday and I'm thinking it's Friday. Anybody else having that same problem? Now, just 2 days ago, I did a show and I talked about how everyone is special. Everyone is anointed. Everyone is like amazing. Everyone. There's nobody on this planet that's not special. I know there's people who don't act special. They do evil things. That's because they chose to go down that path for whatever reason. But everyone is amazing because I looked up how many sperm cells are in one. I'm getting a little rated one ejaculation. It said over 300 million. Some numbers said it's more. But so that means you beat out what over 3 million other competitors to get to be here to listen to this live right now. You know how special and wonderful that is? Because just by a millisecond or a microsecond, whatever you want to call it, you may not have been here. And you mean to tell me you don't think you're special? I know you're special. I tell you what, if you don't believe you're special, just trust what I just said. You are special. You are the divine manifestation of God himself. That's why I keep saying you only have one job. One job. And it's not working at someone's job. It's not filling out applications to become employed by someone else. That's not your one job. It's not, oh, I got to do all these things so I can take care of myself. That's not the one job. It's not it. See, before I tell you what your one job is, I have to show you how you got here. Because through religion, through education, through politics, through social programming, social manipulation, media manipulation, and deception, you were made to believe that you have to do certain things in order to be successful. When you already had when you got here, you was already successful. You already had it all. Think about it, right? In the Bible, they had what you call the prodigal son, right? He had it all, right? And then one day he decided, I'm getting out of here. I'm gonna go hang out. Pops, give me my bread and let me go do my thing. You do your thing, I'm gonna go do my thing. So he disconnected from the source of having it all and went somewhere else where where the funds he had was limited. First of all, he didn't have the mindset to even hold on to it. He blew it. He did all kinds of things, right? I won't go into all of the gory details. Then he woke up one day. He came to himself. He woke up to one day and said, wait a minute. I can go back to the source where there is everything's there. But I'm going to go this time as a servant because I know I don't deserve to come in as the son because I was disrespectful. I did not appreciate what my father had set up for me. So he went back to the father and said, oh, Pop, I want to be back here and I'll come as a servant. That just let me come back. And Pop said, what? Are you kidding me? I'm going to allow my son to live like a servant? See, my love and my provisions don't run out. And because they don't run out, you can always come back. As long as you realize that this is the source of everything for your existence. This is everything for you, and it doesn't run out. See, what the social structures have done is made you think of lack instead of an abundance. Made you think that you have to have this, you got to measure up, take these tests. Think about it. 12 years of taking tests have taught you only one thing: how to be afraid to fail, how to be afraid to not measure up. So you're so concentrating on what you don't want, which is the failure, which actually is what gave you the failure, because you just was thinking about what you don't want. This goes back to you only have one job. So you have a life of, I gotta do this, I gotta measure up here, I can't fail. Oh, I gotta fill out this application. I hope they're help accept me on this job, so the boss can like me, and he'll give me that low paying job that will allow me not to be able to live next door to him, or even take the vacations that he takes, or even live in the home that he takes. It'll be just enough to get by. And this job might not be enough. I might need to get another job. Oh, I might need to hook up with somebody, get married, so we could have two incomes and we could put those two together, and we may do okay. We might get above board. I was talking to my homeboy. He was, both him and his wife, they make pretty good money. And because of the prices are getting out of hand, it's getting tougher and tougher. But if we remember that we do have a father out there, a creator who gave us everything, think about it. This planet was given to us free of charge. It's man that's created these systems where you have to pay for everything. I mean, if I have a seed, like some vegetable seeds or fruit seeds, I can go plant them in the ground for free and water them and watch them grow up, and then I got food. I don't need a grocery store, really, do I? I don't need all the junk they're selling in there. I just need the provisions that the Father left me. Remember, you only have one job, and that one job is this: believe all of the good things that you want, focus on that. Focus on what you want, and do not focus on what you don't want. Because whether you want to believe this or not, whether you want to accept what I'm about to say or not, everything you're getting, good and bad, get the things you call good and the things you call bad, is your doing. The bad relationship. See, I'm in a bad relationship. I can't blame nobody but myself, because I am a main character player in that situation. I chose to draw negative energy into my life, and maybe I have some negative energy. Most likely that's true. No one escapes what you call, what the Bible call reaping and sowing, what the other schools of thought say karma, the law of reciprocity. No one escapes that. So your only job is to remember and know that if you want to manifest anything, you got to hold that thought and believe it and know that it will come into existence, and feel it. Be excited about it. So your one job is to get up in the morning and be thankful. Get up in the morning and be specific about what you want on all levels. Okay, if you want a good day, maybe you might want to get a pen and pad out and say, today is a good day. Write that down. Today is a good day, before you get up, and hold that thought. Take 10 minutes to just hold that, and just imagine how you're going to have a good day. How that bad coworker that you don't like, how you gonna speak life into the situation, be nice to them, and have a a big cheery what do you call greeting. Don't let pride get in the way. Your job is to remember, know, and believe that everything you want good, you can have. Everything. There's nothing. The Bible even said it. You can, if you believe it enough, you can tell a mountain to pick up and move and go into the sea. You think that was written just to be writing something? What somebody said in the chat? Indie Circle says, yeah, every day is like a Sunday to me, like the old church folks say, hello, living in my kingdom of heaven. Right. Yeah, that's a good point. Living in the kingdom of heaven. Where's the kingdom of heaven? Is it up there in space somewhere? No, it's right here. This is where the kingdom, this is where life everlasting is in your mind. You create your existence. You create everything that you want. You create everything that you desire. You create your negative, you create your bad. You are the creator. God gave you the dominion over all things. The problem is we've allowed social programming to make us believe otherwise. See, we're so focused on them and they and all these other things that we forget the one place where we can find our true peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth within ourselves. You generate all your money, you generate all your not having money. So if your bank account's a little low, you have to check yourself. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking about what you don't have? I don't have enough? Because the more you think about I don't have enough, the more not enough you will have. There's a scripture said the ones who have a lot, the rich will get richer, or they will have more, and the ones who don't have will not have, and not only that, they will lose what they do have. That's an esoterical, metaphysical scripture. It means that the more you think about something and concentrate and focus on it, the more you will attract that into your life. A couple of months back, one of my TikTok friends, Facebook friend, Alchemist Barbie, she told me, she gave me a technique of whatever you want to write, write it down. I forgot how many times. If she's on here, she was on here. She gave me so many times. You write it down over and over and over and over again, and you do that. Do that for like 10 minutes, or she gave me a certain amount of times. I can't remember how many times. And you keep doing that every day, every day. And what happens is when you're writing this stuff down, it's being locked into your mind. Do you realize that your mind, your brain, this here is a transmitter and a receiver? Your thoughts are energy pulsing out and receiving. Pulsing, subconscious mind is receiving and monitoring everything, taking everything into consideration. And it has, in the subconscious mind, really doesn't have a filter. It doesn't filter whether true or false. It just takes it in and is constantly looking for information to take in. And so what you're saying to yourself is very important. So if you're saying to yourself things that are not good, not uplifting, the conscious mind, okay, let's find something to make that true. So that that transmitter that is going out like a it's something I want to It's like a scout. It goes out and look for all of those things that you're talking about in your head, and it goes finds. Okay, oh, you want to be wealthy, you want to be rich, and you really want that. Okay, let's find the person or the situation that'll put you in a wealthy and rich situation. Oh, you believe all women are bad, all men are bad? Oh, okay. Okay, all men are bad. Okay. Let's go find the worst guy so that you can hook up with. Same thing with men. You think all women, the story of today, black women are terrible. That's the narrative that they're trying to promote, that they're promoting. And in the physical reality, it may seem true. But in the spiritual reality, it's not true. The only reason why people look a certain way to you or you feel a certain way about someone because you created an image of them in your mind and that's what you are connected with and that's the energy and vibration that you're looking for without looking for it or you think you're not looking for it and that's what you're going to see. They will transform in front of you and be exactly what you believe them to be. So if you believe they're bad, they're going to look bad. You're going to think bad because you believe they're bad. If you believe they're good, they're going to transform and they're going to be good. See, if you want a good person in for your life, you've got to think and know and believe that there is a good person for you in your life. I had to come to that realization. And swallowing these pills are heavy, taking responsibility for the outcomes of our lives, of my life, that's a big pill to swallow. No, they did this to me. They did. No, no one's doing anything to you. No one is doing anything to me. I'm doing it to myself because I am placing myself in that situation. I am allowing myself to go through that. No, they did. They did. No, 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 no. If you are there and experiencing that, you are responsible for that experience. It is yours and yours alone. Guess what? Because you're the only one that experienced it. You're the only one that see it that way. You're the only one that accepted it to be that way. You're the only one that believe it to be that way. And see, what society has taught us and made us experts at is believing in everything negative. That's why YouTube videos, if they're negative, they blow up. Cat Williams video, right? People enjoyed that. I watched it. I enjoyed some of it because it was funny, some of the stuff. But when you really slice that apart, it was negative. Negative speech about people, talking about people and how they this and that, whatever self-righteous motivation he had and for it, or commercial reason he had for outing all of those people. It's still negative. It's not speaking life into anybody. See, we could choose to think where we could save the world. I'm correcting this and I'm correcting that. Well, if you haven't been paying attention, all the would-be saviors ended up being crucified. Nobody wants to be saved. Nobody cares about being saved. Nobody wants you to save them. Know why? Because there's only one place, only one person that can save, you can save, and that's yourself. That's your job, to look at yourself and deal with your issues. That's your only job. Because if you could deal with yourself and face all of your issues that you know you have, that you need to work on, guess what? All of your relationships get better instantly. All of them. Not to say that you're not going to run into difficult people, but at the point of where you have healed and you have elevated your consciousness to not take offense and take things personal that people do, whatever they do won't affect you. It's like Christ when they were accusing him and lying to him. He wasn't moved by that. He didn't retaliate from that. That's what the real lesson is in that. The metaphysical, esoteric lesson of the whole Christ and all the other world saviors is to be able to stand in the midst of being treated wrong, but not allowing it to move you to be vengeful or to be resentful. And one thing's that, let's touch about that resentful. The one thing that keeps you resentful, it keeps you having animosity, is to keep talking about it, to keep thinking about it. Because all it does is reinforce those negative ideas that you have about that person, and it keeps it going. It's like you're reliving that stuff and they're not even around. They're doing whatever they're doing. And you reliving that whole situation, making yourself negative. And when you put yourself in a negative state, guess what? Negative things will happen. You'll end up getting into a car accident. You end up getting sick. Oh, I had to learn that one the hard way. Because it's not them that's the problem. It's your negative thinking that brings about negative things and happenings to you in your life. It's the negative thoughts. That mysterious illness that comes out of nowhere. I can guarantee you, if you think really hard, there was some negative feeling that vibrated on the same level as that illness. You know, illnesses have vibrations. Negative thoughts have vibrations, and negative thoughts are connected to certain illnesses or certain conditions. See, the doctors will want to give you some medications to treat it, but not cure it. If you, somebody said, whatever you set your mind to is what you will experience in the moment. So set your mind to your goals and not the goalkeepers. See, if you really examine all of the negative experiences that you had, whether it be an illness or an accident or a bad day at your job, or your bank account get drained, the unexpected expense come up, you were vibrating. Let's just use unexpected expense came up. Somewhere in the past, somewhere previously, your mind was vibrating negative, or let me not use the word. Your mind was vibrating on the frequency where it made it the connection to you having an unexpected expense. Like an example, have you ever been, you were doing so well? I'm doing good, money's flowing, yeah, and I'm feeling good. And then you had that thought, man, things are going good, something got to go wrong. You have that one fleeting thought, and then you just push it away, and things are still going good. Then it's going, and then you think it again. Oh man, something got you. Do you realize the moment you transmit that negative thought, it is rushing towards you? It's coming. But you can offset it by rebuking it. That's what you rebuke the devil. Church people say the devil is a liar. And I ain't talking about no devil out there. I'm talking about that devilish idea, the thoughts in your head. Though that's the devil. See, I'm like Reverend Ike. We don't give credit to the devil, or the thing we call with the capital letter D, or Satan. Because I agree with him, because the real devil, the real Satan, is those adversarial thoughts that cause you to have adversarial and negative experiences. That's the devil. Because if you really sit down and look at your life and you look at the things when it was going right and the things when it's going wrong, it all originated in one place. As above, so below. In the consciousness of your mind, it will reveal itself below in the 3D experience that we have. And sometimes we get so possessed. I've been there recently with these ideas that it's someone else's default problem. That's a possession. That is a devilish possession, mental possession that you will have. And you'll hold on to that so tight. And then you realize you're holding on to that so tight, you're not realizing the blessings of everything that's going on around you. Your judgment is so clouded because you're looking somewhere else for the truth. There's only one place where the truth resides, and that's within you. There's only one place Christ is returning, within you. It's not coming out of the sky where you can see all of this fanfare and lights and, he's coming. Christ returns the moment you realize who you really are. You are the Christ. You are the God you're looking for. I'm sorry if there's some church folks that don't agree with that. I do not apologize for what I said, but just respect that I said it. I respect your belief, respect mine. Listen, the Bible, there's several scriptures that call everyone gods. They've been saying it, but the preacher won't preach it to you. Because as long as you believe that you're not God, that you're not the Christ you're looking for, you'll keep giving him them tithes. You'll be right there in this church singing and praising and feeling good for the moment while it cries, singing, you're feeling uplifted. And as soon as that church service is over, you leave them doors, you go home, and you're back to your own, back to the same old possessive negative thoughts, ready to cuss somebody out at a drop of a hat. Why? Because you didn't get delivered. Oh, you may have gotten delivered for the moment while that song was playing and everybody and all the energy in the room was hyped up. That's why I say everything is energy. You can go to church and you can feel great. Wow, that was uplifting. But then you go home, you don't feel uplifting. But what's the problem? What's the difference between the church and your home? Because you haven't realized that you can take that same energy that you have in church and bring it home with you and keep it. Just remember that feeling and believe on that feeling. Because we're really having a desire, writing them down, and having a goal or a system to get the things done that you want to happen good. But what's more important than all of that? You need those ingredients. But the main ingredient is your belief and your excitement about how you want to manifest things. That's it. Like when Alchemist Barbie told me to write all that stuff down, and you just add the ingredient of excitement and belief and knowing this is going to happen. I'm going to get this. This has happened. You know what? By the way, I already have it. Like the prodigal son, he already had it. Even though he spent all that little bit of money, he might have been a lot for him, but it was a little bit for the father because the father's source is unlimited. Where you come from is unlimited. There's an unlimited amount of prosperity available to you. At no charge. The only thing you have to do is know it and believe it. That's it. Know it and work towards it. And one of the things we're working towards is writing it down. Make the vision plain. Write it down, because while you write, because writing it down is so important because we're so programmed to look outside of us, trying to sit back and meditate on it, which you can do that's possible. Christ did it, right? But because we're so indoctrinated with so many negative ideals and social programming, writing it down is the best thing you can do because it keeps your mind single. What's the scripture say? Keep thine eyes single. single. So it keeps it single, focused on that one good idea. And you do that. You continue to do it and be consistent. Remember, I said it's not talent, it's consistency that brings on the talent. So you write it down and you keep it going, and you will get it. And she gave me that information because she did it and she manifested what she wanted by doing that. I'm just breaking down why it works. Because I told you, your brain is a transmitter and a receiver. It is energy going out, and it don't just go across the street. It don't just go down the hall. It can go across the planet. It can go out to the ethers, out of outer space, under the water. That's how powerful you are. And that's the secret teachings that they don't even want you to know. You all of these secret societies, and y'all think they sitting there plotting against you. Y'all believe that they're plotting against all of the poor folks. And no. That was the reason why Jesus created, guess what? Jesus Christ created the first secret society, one of the first secret societies. Well, I wouldn't say the first, but during his time, he had a secret society. And I'll prove it, right? He only told certain things, he told secrets to his disciples on how to manifest and get closer to God. But he talked to the crowds in parables because he knew they wasn't consciously ready to accept those teachings. But he took them off in rooms and taught them, this is it. This is the meat and potatoes of how you get things done. See, places like the Illuminati, the Masonic orders, the Skull and Bones, the Brotherhood, all of these schools, these secrets, what we call secret societies, they're not really plotting against you. What they're doing is they know that if I have a brotherhood, I have a connection, we're all going to learn the same thing. We're going to all learn how to manifest what we want. And they teach this mind science to their members. Don't ask me how I know, but I know. See, while the broken, the destitute, and the people that are depressed are looking at these organizations and saying, "Oh, that's the Illuminati, that's the this, and it's the whatever up name you want to give them," they all plotting against it because the reason why people have those ideas is because they're not in the know of the truth. They're not in the know. Because the truth is, all they're doing is teaching each other how to use those God given gifts, that God given mind, that God given creation, that how to project their thoughts. Like right now, I got this book called The Projection of Thought. Read it. Read it. And then I have, I got a bunch of books over there. See, the difference between the elite and the non elite, I taught this in my class yesterday. The difference. And it's not about money. It's not money that makes you elite. Elite is just the money. Money is a symptom of being elite. That's a symptom. That's one of those good symptoms. Having a lot of money, that's a symptom of the elite. The elite class is not about the dollar signs. To be part of the elite class, the elect, it's not the money. I know everybody want to put a monetary thing. The difference between the elite, the non-elect, or elect, and the unelect, and the Masonics call them profanes, um, or what you call sleep, sheep, unconscious. The difference is this: that the elect is always seeking knowledge. They're reading. They're studying. They are mastering themselves. They're becoming masters at being the best that they can be. Because once you master yourself, which is a lifetime's work, when you become a master at working your mind, understanding how it transmits and receives, and how you're manifesting things. Once you take accountability for everything that you are getting in your life, good and bad, once you take full responsibility for that, and then you repent and you start to turn around and you start to be careful how you think. You be careful about the self-talk, the 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 bad words you use against yourself. And let me tell you this, a bad word you use against someone else is a bad word you use against yourself. It bounces right back. It's called the law of reciprocity. It's called the law of karma. It's called the law of reaping what you sow. It's that simple. That's what it is. And I'm not speaking to you like I have totally got this thing, because I don't. I'm speaking it because I experienced it. And once I experienced it, I realized where I've been having these devilish ideas and thoughts, and I come out of it and I become enlightened, because become enlightened is to realize the truth. That none of that stuff matters. That stuff we call negative, it don't matter. It's not important. What's important is elevating your own mind. And if you spend your time just seeking knowledge, wanting to know, some of you have heard this story, some of you have not. But I'll tell it. Tell this story. How I woke up. When I woke up, I think I was around 30-ish. I don't remember, but I remember the day, since time is fiction and time is an illusion. I remember when I woke up and I realized what the problem was with me. It was right after wife left, came home from work one day, she was gone. And I thought I was doing all the right things, and I wasn't. I was not doing all the right things. And I cussed God out so bad. I used every profanity I think you could think about. I was like, man, I want the truth. I want the effing truth. I want the truth. I yelled that out. In the moment, my camera's getting low. Let me adjust my lighting here. The moment that I said that, a voice went off. And it was my voice. That's why I said you God. That's how I know we all God. See, when you talking to yourself and you hear yourself in that little voice, it's your voice. That's your God self talking to you. Don't let anybody rob you of that idea and make you believe anything else. Because if you believe anything else short of that, you're going to always come up short, because you're off the mark. When you look away from yourself, you have just went off the mark. But as soon as I said that, just as quiet, the voice, it wasn't like I spoke it. It came in my head. It was in my head. It said, the reason why you don't know the truth, because your truth, as you know it, came from somewhere else. Someone else told you what the truth is. You haven't studied it, learned it for yourself. And in minute, the second, I wouldn't even say the minute, the microsecond that I received that message, it was like an explosion went off in my head. And I was like, oh, wow. That's the problem. Y'all know I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, right? Just like Cat Williams and even what's his name? Terrence Howard, 20-something years, he was a Jehovah's Witness. But And I said, yeah, all my ideas about God. And actually, you said, you don't know me because everything you know about me came from someone else. This is what God said, but it was my voice saying that. But now I realize that know me was me. That knowing me was, I didn't know me, who I was. And it was like all of the teachings that I got from the day I started getting taught to that moment rushed in my head like an explosion. Yeah, this, that. Then it slowed down and it said, "Oh." And then the next voice I heard was this. This is the part of the story that I never told, but I'm gonna tell it tonight. A next voice said, "You have to get rid of all of what you think you know and start from scratch. You got to go to the Bible. You got to get the books. You got to study what they told you not to study. You got to read it all." Yes, I went and read the Bible. I read some of the Quran. I barely read the Torah, or some of it. I haven't gotten it yet. See, this is a lifelong work. Oh, but I went to the one thing that was taboo to Jehovah's Witnesses. Taboo. I went to the witchcraft books and read them. And I was amazed at what I read. I said, man, I also went to the Egyptian Book of the Dead. Something that would, because it had dead in it. Oh, wait a minute. That sounds totally off limits. And I start reading these books. If y'all can remember Cat Williams, what he said, all of these religions are not disagreeing with each other. He is not lying about that. They're not. Witchcraft's not disagreeing. Egyptian Book of the Bed and the Bible and all these other, they all are saying the one thing, the same thing. They all say the same thing. You must master yourself, and you got to believe in yourself that you are God. The Bible don't say that. I'm not going to, y'all look it up. Ye are God's children of the Most High, but you'll die like men or mortals. That's one scripture. Y'all go find it. And Jesus even said it. Isn't it in your law that ye are God's? And if the law cannot be annulled, then why are you upset at me because I said I'm God's son? See, that's where it all starts. See, this is where some groups of people don't want you to know or believe, because once you believe and know who you really are, there is no need for social structures. There is no need for social indoctrinations. You become solely self-sufficient. You start to realize, why am I going to the store to buy groceries when I can grow it in my backyard? Some of y'all have talked to are getting the urge to grow their own food. Why? Because the food in the stores are polluted. It's not food for the most part. Even the vegetables, they're hybrids. See, that's all I'm trying to say. I just want you to know who you really are, because I know that will be the source of all your good. Once you understand and know and believe and act accordingly, all your money problems will go away, all your relationship problems will start to disappear. You'll start to attract more good people in your life. You'll start to attract people that want to help you instead of hurt you. See, when I changed my mindset and I flipped it around, people just come into my life and they want to assist me in what I'm doing out of the kindness of their heart. That's what happens when you change your energy. You change those thoughts, they bring in good people and remove the bad. And guess what? You don't remove them. They remove themselves. They stay away from you. So if there's someone who don't want to talk to you or want to associate with you, do not feel bad, because it's for your good. And actually, you did that. Because once something is removed, something is always added back. What you give is what you get. So be careful of what you're giving because you're going to get back 10 times, sometimes more, what you gave. Think about that. Think about it. Man, how many people I got? I don't know how to interpret this TikTok, how many people it's on, but I see quite a few people who have joined. I don't know if they stayed on. I'm learning TikTok. Forgive me. I don't really know. Somebody sent me thanks for the TikTok universe. TikTok universe is super couple. I don't know. People giving those roses, I guess. I have to forgive me. I don't know how to interpret some of this stuff. So thank you. But if y'all can push the like, however you do that, please do that. And to all of you guys out here in YouTube and Telegram, thanks for joining. Let's see. Let's go through who's on here. Got Big Man, Master Abel Noble says peace, love, and light. Same thing back to you. ND Circle Ministry said peace, my brother. Peace back to you. Corinne from Level Up Thursday says happy Tuesday, everyone. She's been doing her thing. She got TikTok videos, not TikTok, I believe, Facebook. I'm always running across her videos. Check her out. Above and Beyond with Corinne. Look her up. Peace and prosperity says Sovereign Soul. In La Vida says peace to all. Check their channel out too. In La Vida. Check it out. Check her channel out. Where's Road Warrior at? I haven't seen him in a minute. Richie Demus says God is good. Javier Abalez says peace and prosperity. Same thing back to you. Also says facts. Greetings, beloveds. Indigenous Elder AKL and the chat be the main player, not background slide. Write your own ecclesiology. He's teaching right now. Open up your own channel and start teaching. Indy Circus is Matthews 11:12. Oh, that might be the scripture that says "Ye are gods." Let's see. Let's see. Matthews. You know what? I'm gonna go to my Bible. I ain't gonna do no internet looking up. So, and actually, I have it open to Matthew chapter 13. So here's 12. It says 11, right? What did you say? Matthew chapter 11, verse 12. You sure that's the right one? Because I'm reading 11:12. And that has nothing to do with what I was just talking about. John 10:34. I think that's the one. I like make me a cheat sheet and write all these scriptures down. I did have a cheat sheet. I don't know what I did with it. 10:34. Let's make sure that's it. 10:34. Just right. That is the one. It says, let's start with 31. 10 John chapter 10:31. The Jews took up stones again to stone him. Jesus replied, I have shown you many good works from the Father. For which of these are you going to stone me for? Now, this I like reading this because it shows you could be out there preaching, doing, helping, and people will still try to kill you. What happened? Something happened. They want me to kill you. Oh, they wanted to end my live over there. I'm talking too much good stuff. They will still try to kill you. So don't be surprised when you're getting persecuted because you're trying to do the right thing. It comes with the territory, but you have to elevate your consciousness so that you can deal with it like Christ did, that you can remain in your peace, your love and compassion. I have shown you many good works from the Father. For which of these are you going to stone me? The Jews answered, it is not for a good work that we are going to stone you, but for blasphemy. Because you, though only a human being, are making yourself God. See, they're okay with you trying to heal them and fix their problems that they created. But the moment you come in and you personify greatness, you personify your godship, they're gonna kill you for that. Why? Because they don't see that for themselves. They say you're only a human. You just like us. You ain't God. You're not better than us. That's basically what they were saying, right? You're not better than us. And Christ never said he was better, because he told his disciples, you will do greater things than I. All Christ was trying to teach, I'm just trying to show an example of just a small smidget of what you are capable of doing. But they were so stuck in the ideology and the religious mindsets of the day, the social programming that they received, they could not see that for themselves. They did not believe that for themselves. So when you see someone else doing great things and saying great things about themselves, even if he said great things about them, they still wouldn't have accepted that, because they didn't have the consciousness to accept that type of teaching. That's why when people hear me say, you're God, I'm God, they draw back. Wait, I can't say that. That's blasphemy. God gonna come and get me. Let me hip you to something. How God gonna come and get you and you God? You gonna get yourself? Huh? He created you in the image and likeness of him. So call yourself what you are. That's the same thing with the prodigal son. He didn't believe he was like his father. That's why he went off, disconnected from the tree, the unlimited tree, the infinite prosperity. He didn't believe that. And even when he figured out that he was wrong, he still didn't believe it, because he wanted to be one of the servants. He didn't come back as the part of the son, abide in the Father and have that unlimited prosperity. He didn't. It wasn't a concept in his mind until the Father said, wait a minute. Let me show you what this is all about. Let's throw a party. Let's get the fattest bull. Let's throw a party and put the ring on him. The seal that proved that he was divine and connected to a divine source. They said, the Jews, I'll read it again. The Jews answered, it's not for a good work that we are going to stone you, but for blasphemy, because you, though only a human being, are making yourself God. Jesus answered. See, what did I tell y'all about the elect? The elect. What did I tell y'all? Because they had read their own text, they would have seen it, but they didn't read. And even some of them, even if they read it, they wouldn't understand it. Like this scripture here, people read this, the preachers never get this. They shy away from calling you God. No, that was just said this, and they come up with some weird, fancy answer to move you away from your true power. And some of it's done intentionally, and some of it's done out of ignorance. Jesus answered, is it not written in your law, I said, you are gods? If those to whom the word of God came were called gods, let me read it again. If those to whom the word of God came were called gods, and the scripture cannot be annulled, and y'all know what annulled means, it can't be annulled, it can't be undone, it can't be changed no matter what you do. Can you say that the one whom the Father has sanctified and sent into the world is blaspheming because I said I am God's son? And if I am not doing the works of my Father, then do not believe me. But if I do them, even though you do not believe me, believe the works. So you don't have to believe my words. The proof is in the pudding. See, there's many people out here telling y'all how to manifest and do all these things, but they don't have the proof because they're not studying. They're not working with the elect. They're not working with the people who really know how to do it. See, a lot of these books are written by people that haven't really manifested anything. How they're making the money is selling you that book, holding a seminar. But they really haven't learned or know the concept. So they prey on your ignorance to sell you that idea. But all you gotta do is read it. Read these things. Go read this text. Go read the Book of the Dead, Egyptian Book of the Dead. Go read the Bible. Go read the Torah. Go read the Quran. Read them all. And don't stop there. Keep reading. If you feel bold enough, go read the witchcraft books, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. That is not as demonistic as you might believe. But through propaganda and what you see on the news, they paint voodoo as evil. So can you say that the one whom the Father has sanctified and sent into the world is blasphemy because I say I am God's son? If I am not doing the works of my Father, then do not believe me. But if I do them, even though you do not believe me, believe the works, so that you may know and understand that the Father is in me and I am in the Father, one and the same. God is in you and you are in God. That's it. What was that? Give me a second. I'm trying to. I am in the Father. Then after he said that, they still try to arrest him. So it ain't nothing you can say to a blind mind. It's nothing you can say to a closed mind. Because they're vibrating on a frequency that doesn't match up with the frequency of higher consciousness. It's just that simple. Once you understand it, you can slice it down and you can see all of that. That's why some people I talk to them and they don't get it. I'm like, they're not ready. All right, here's a man with all this information. You should have at least 3 million subscribers and students. Yeah, I probably should. Now, this information that I'm teaching didn't come from me. It come from me studying, reading, listening all week since Sunday. I've been listening. This is some hard to find recordings on this stuff. This is where this is coming from. And I got my hands on them. And I've been listening to them. I'm in recording number 9. And just it's concepts that I learned through Reverend Ike and all the other ones, but it's more detailed. Because Reverend Ike can only could tell you, 45 minutes of preaching. But I'm talking hours. Like right now, I probably listen to 10 hours of these recordings, and I still got a lot more to go. And then sometimes I go back, take me long because I go back and listen to them over. And here's a secret. Here's something. And I've said this. It's really not a secret, but this to keep your mind on the right path. It's okay to listen to the same thing over, as long as it's positive, over and over and over and over again. Because what happens is what has happened from the day we came into this world and we came into this live reality. Your neural pathways was written for you by the indoctrination of I got to go to school, get a good education, get a good job. See, So you're hardwired to believe certain things. But in order to undo that, you need repetition of something that goes against that teaching. In the beginning, it's going to be hard because you're so used to thinking that way. So as soon as you hear something that goes against that, you're gonna get, your eyes gonna roll up in your head. You're gonna get a little sleepy. Why? Because the energy of the information that you're receiving is competing against that hardwired thought process. This is why people have a hard time keeping up with things because they don't know how to push through that hardwired information, bad information that they received since they was a kid. So I'm just giving you the scientific reasons why it's hard to change certain habits. So, but the only way to overwrite that is with different information, better information, and listen to it over and over and over again. I guarantee you, if you listen to something over and over again, every time you listen to it, you're going to get something new from it. There's a book called The Alchemist. I have it on audiobook, and I like the way the narrator reads it. Is Jeremy Irons is the reader of that book. I love the way he brings that book to life. Jeremy Irons, if he's an actor, if you ever seen that movie, The Three Musketeers, he was one of the Three Musketeers in that movie. Jeremy Irons. And he played in a whole host of other things. He played in that movie, The Time Machine. He was one of those underground dwellers. He sat in that chair, had the white hair. That was Jeremy Irons. I listened to that book. I literally listened to that book about, I know, 20 times. But every time I listen to it, I get more from it. But that's what the elite, the elect, do. They don't spend their time listening to trap music. They don't do that. They got little secrets. They got little things that keep them focused. Like, for instance, do you know if you listen to music from the Baroque era, just listen to that music. Like, whatever you do, put that music on low. It will put you in a relaxed state. Can't even listen to classical. No, the frequency of that music puts you in a relax. That music was written in a certain way to keep your mind focused and relaxed and able to retain information. Like some people like Beethoven music, same thing. Try it. Turn on, find it, go to YouTube or something and say Baroque classical music and just play that while you're trying to work or read or concentrate on something. I tried it. I did it. And I was able to absorb everything. It kept me focused on what I was doing. Oh, Road Warrior said he's here listening with his parents. Okay, cool. um, Jason in Brazil says peace. Road Warrior, I just asked about him. He's on. There he is. He has a YouTube channel. Go check him out. He's doing good. JOK said, thanks for the great insight and positive energy, my brother. Thank you. Listen, I got to give out positive energy because I'm going to get it back. Because sometimes I be in here, I get into my crazy thinking too. I'm not exempt. Listen, do you know that the people who teach these things are the most challenged by them? Getting ready to upload a new video soon. Okay, cool. Indie Circle said 1112 saying letting your thoughts take your kingdom of heaven with violence and force. Got it. What's the name of the classic music? Again, Baroque. I think that's spelled Baroque. 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 Yeah. It's Baroque classical music. I'll give you a link. Baroque. They call it Baroque music. Baroque music. And YouTube has like 3 hours, 6 hours of it. Like 100. Here's one right here. Let me turn that off before they give me a copyright strike. I'll put it in the link. Put it in the chat. Sorry. There you go. There's a link to 100 best of the Baroque music. Play that at a low level in the background of whatever you're doing, reading, and see how your mind just shifts. So you got to use different tools to keep yourself focused. It's one thing to believe, but if you don't do nothing with the belief, work in conjunction with the belief, nothing will happen. All right. All right. Well, I'm gonna call it a night. It's 8:16. I've been on. Thanks to the people who someone just shared the live on TikTok. And I'm on TikTok as Infinite Abundance. All right. Well, with that being said, I'll leave y'all with peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all. Remember, you only got one job, and that is to mind your business. Peace, prosperity, and extreme wealth to all you guys.
This is Hindsight Radio. I represent it. The information station changing the nation.